Oh, oh, hey guys. Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were coming by tonight. Hey, thanks for coming by. Common Sense Outdoorsman here. Hey, I was just sharpening up some knives, and this is once you get the hang of this, you got to practice, 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 practice. But I can do this without even looking at the knife, and once you practice with the stone on maintaining your blades, it's easy to do. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. But thanks for popping in. And what I wanted to talk about is batoning. Should I baton my knife? And should I or shouldn't I? That is the question. Well, no, you shouldn't baton your knife. Don't ever baton your knife. No, I'm only kidding. Yeah, there's a lot of knife users that, hey, if you baton your knife, you're an idiot. You should never baton your knife. That's stupid, and so on and so forth. Here's what I think. Bottom line. If it's your knife, do whatever you want with it. Baton it, don't baton it. It doesn't matter to me. You do whatever you want with your knife in any situation you want. Just be safe. Don't hurt yourself. But batoning a knife. Should I baton a knife? I do. And you've seen that in my videos. And I think it's perfectly reasonable. Now, I like a bigger knife instead of a hatchet or a small axe. Just for me and what I do, I'm not out there doing a lot of forestry or building a lot of huge shelters or cabins. So I like to go as light as possible now that I'm getting up in years and getting closer to the 6-0. I don't want to carry a lot of weight. So, and I like the versatility. So if I have a bigger knife, this is my Buck 119. It's not a huge knife, but if I can get by doing with what I want to do with this knife and save the weight of a small hatchet, then I'll carry this knife, or whatever knife. Doesn't matter. I just got a bunch of knives on this table. I think the question really is more not should I or shouldn't I baton, but how do I baton in a smart way? You don't want to do stupid stuff and break your knife and things like that. So that to me is really the question. Can I baton this Rapala bait knife that's in a molded handle around a blade? You certainly could, and I've batoned this knife. Now, the tang is a little loose inside that plastic because I was just testing it and just seeing what it would do. It's a little loose, but not bad. It's still very usable. But yeah, you can baton this knife. But if you get a little carried away, yeah, you're gonna break that blade off, or you're gonna that tang is gonna come out of that molded handle, what have you, and you're just gonna ruin it. Now we can go to the other extreme, and let's take my old Schrade. I've had this knife for more than 10 years. The Schrade SEHF 9. This is 1/4 of an inch thick. Are you gonna break this knife? Probably not. You could probably baton whatever you want with this knife. You're not going to break it. This knife is just under a pound. So if I'm going to do larger work, I might rather have a knife like this than a small hatchet, because it's still going to be a little bit lighter, and it's going to be more versatile. I'm going to be able to do a lot of my knife tasks with this knife, as well as do some light chopping and batoning and other heavy work that I might do with the hatchet. So if I can get by with saving a few ounces and I can have the versatility that a knife gives me, I like that. I'll choose the knife every time. So should you baton or shouldn't you baton? That's up to you. You do whatever you like to do. And quite frankly, sometimes it's just more fun to use a knife to prepare some firewood or some kindling, what have you, and it's and it can be safer because you're not swinging that heavy head all over the place. And I think if you do use a knife, Here's the Gerber Prodigy knife. Baton this several times, and if you do use a knife, it could be a little bit safer because you got a little bit more control over this, and you're not swinging it, but you're hitting it with a baton in a more of a controlled manner. So it could be safer, but that's up to you. You decide. If you have fun with an axe, or you like an axe, and that's what you want to use to split wood, then use an axe. But I don't see any reason why you can't do it with a knife. Within reason, think about physics. There's a little Condor Mayflower. It's a little 3-inch blade. Would I baton this? I sure would. It's a full tang. If I was going to prepare some kindling, would I use this little knife? Yeah, it could do it. If I had some, 1-inch, 1.5-inch sticks, and I wanted to break it down for kindling, I would certainly use this knife. A lot easier, a lot safer than an axe. Maybe. For me, maybe not for you. But so, I don't really think it's a question. Do whatever you want, baton or not to baton. I don't think it's crazy either way. If you like an axe, use an axe. If that's what you want to use to break down some kindling, use your axe. If you want to use a knife, use a knife. Just do it within reason. Think about the physics. How about this Uncle Henry golden spike? That's a very fine tip on this knife, so be careful. Watch out. You could break something, but if you do it within reason, you're fine. Would I prepare kindling, small kindling with this knife? I would, within reason. Not a problem. So yeah, batoning or not batoning. That's up to you. All I can say is be careful and learn how to sharpen your knives. Not only will you end up with sharp knives, but could be therapeutic. All right, guys, Common Sense Outdoorsman. Let me get back to it. We'll talk to you later.